Words started this conflict,
Words keep it alive.
and words are the only thing that can end it.
Today, we talk about something nobody discusses. Not the missiles, not the sanctions, not the politics.
We talk about language itself, how the words leaders choose can push two countries toward war or pull them back from the edge.
And by the end of this episode, you will never listen to a political speech the same way again.
Welcome to Leo Daily English. I am Leo.
And I am Sara. Stay with us today. This one is different. Leo, quick question. Have you ever said something and immediately regretted it?
Every week, Sarah. Every single week. We all have. One wrong word, one bad sentence, and suddenly the whole atmosphere changes. Now, imagine that moment, but you're not talking to a friend. You are talking to another country on live television in front of the entire world.
And your words are being translated, analyzed, misunderstood, deliberately twisted.
That is the reality of international communication every single day.
And between the USA and Iran, words have caused real crises multiple times.
Vocabulary Spotlight. Word number 1. Rhetoric.
Rhetoric. Rhetoric.
Rhetoric is powerful language designed to create emotion, not to inform, but to influence, to excite, to frighten, to motivate.
Think of a politician giving a speech. He does not say, "The situation is complicated and we're working on solutions."
He says, "We will never bow to our enemies. We will crush any threat. We stand strong and we stand together."
That is rhetoric. Powerful, emotional, memorable.
And the crowd loves it.
But here's the problem. Rhetoric feels good in the moment, but it makes compromise harder. Because once you call someone your enemy publicly, how do you sit across from them and negotiate?
Both the USA and Iran have used heavy rhetoric for decades. Words like axis of evil, death to America, maximum pressure.
Strong words, powerful words, words that fired up their own people.
But words that also built walls, walls much harder to climb than actual walls. Here's something fascinating. In 1979, during the Iranian Revolution, a translator made a mistake, a serious one.
What happened?
An Iranian leader gave a speech. He used a Persian phrase that meant, "This regime will fall from the pages of history," talking about a government, not people.
But the translation that spread worldwide was, "We will wipe them off the map."
Completely different meaning, completely different consequence. One phrase, one translation error, decades of fear and misunderstanding built on it.
And this is why language matters, why precision matters, why understanding the exact meaning of words is not just an English lesson, it is a survival skill.
Vocabulary Spotlight. Word number 2. Miscommunication.
Miscommunication. Miscommunication.
Miscommunication is when the message sent is not the message received. You say one thing, the other person understands something completely different.
In daily life, this causes small problems, arguments with friends, confusion at work, and awkward dinner.
But in international politics, miscommunication can cause something much bigger.
In 1988, the USS Vincennes, an American warship, shot down an Iranian passenger plane.
290 civilians died.
The American crew thought it was a military aircraft. It wasn't. It was a commercial flight, full of ordinary people going home.
Was it intentional? The USA said no. Iran never fully believed that.
And that single moment of miscommunication or mistrust is still part of the wound between these two countries, 30 years later.
That's the weight that words and misunderstandings carry long after the moment passes. Sara, I want to try something with our listeners today.
Let's do it.
I'm going to say two sentences, same topic, but completely different language, and I want you to feel the difference.
Ready, everyone?
Now, feel that. What does that make you feel? Fear? Anger? Urgency?
Sentence 2. Iran is a country of 85 million people with a complex history, currently in disagreement with Western nations over its nuclear program.
Same country, same situation, completely different feeling. The first sentence makes you want action, immediate, aggressive.
The second sentence makes you want to understand, to ask questions, to think.
And that difference between language that inflames and language that informs is one of the most important things you'll ever learn in English or any language. Vocabulary Spotlight. Word number 3, narrative.
Narrative. Narrative.
A narrative is a story, but not just any story. A narrative is the story someone chooses to tell about a situation, about a person, about a country.
And here's the powerful thing about narratives. Two people can look at exactly the same event and tell completely different stories about it.
The American narrative about Iran says, a dangerous regime threatens peace and defies the international community.
The Iranian narrative about America says, a powerful empire interferes in our country and tries to control our future.
Both narratives contain some truth. Both narratives leave out important facts. Both narratives serve a purpose.
And when ordinary people only hear one narrative, they only see half the picture.
But you, right now, are hearing both.
And that makes you something rare. Someone who asks, what is the other side of this story?
So, what does all of this mean practically, right now, today?
It means pay attention to language. When you hear leaders speak about Iran or America, ask yourself, is this informing me, or is this trying to make me feel something?
Is this a fact, or is this a narrative?
Is this the full picture, or just the half they want me to see?
These questions, these 3 simple questions, make you a critical thinker, not just a news consumer.
And critical thinkers are exactly what this world needs more of.
Before the recap, your challenge today is powerful.
Find one news headline about Iran or America, just one, and in the comments tell us, is it informing you or is it trying to make you feel something?
There's no wrong answer. We just want you to think, to question, to engage.
And subscribe, because tomorrow we take everything from this week and we build something with it. A full picture, clear, honest, powerful.
It's the episode that ties everything together. You don't want to miss it. Tomorrow, right here. Today's 3 words.
Word 1, rhetoric. Powerful, emotional language designed to influence feelings, not to inform minds.
Word 2, miscommunication. When the message sent is not the message received. Small in daily life, catastrophic between nations.
Word 3, narrative. The story someone chooses to tell. Always partial, always purposeful, always worth questioning.
We started today with a simple idea. Words started this conflict.
And we proved it. One translation error, one emotional speech, one narrative repeated long enough to become truth.
But here's what gives us hope.
If words can start a conflict, words can end one. The right words at the right moment, said by people brave enough to choose clarity over emotion.
And today, you learn those words, what they mean, how they work, why they matter.
That's not just an English lesson. That's power, real power.
From all of us at Leo Daily English.
Stay curious.
Stay disciplined.
Stay kind.
And always,
stay brave.
Tomorrow, we bring it all together. Be there.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.